Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and I have got an absolute treat for you today, brought to you by ButtYus. Yes, indeed, this is probably the most hilarious, greatest replay that I have seen in years. I cannot contain how much I love this replay. ButtYus is what many people statistically would call a noob. But he's going to have a greater game than I've ever been able to have in his T95. Now this is the Tier 9 American tank destroyer, and I'm losing my train of thought just from the hilarity that's going to ensue in this video. Now this tank is troll by nature. It's got a 155mm cannon that's able to absolutely devastate its opponents if they go in front of it. And now the reason why I say if they go in front of it, and that's because it is very slow. Its top speed limit, I believe, is 13 kilometers an hour, and it also turns like a fat elephant. This thing cannot turn around very quickly, although I guess it's a bit ignorant to talk about elephants because I don't really know how fast they can turn. Maybe somebody with elephant experience can let me know down in the chat. But I digress. This thing turns really badly, and it's so easy to get around this tank. Generally what happens is people get to the side of it and then they feast on its poor side and rear armor. Well, I say poor side armor, but its side armor isn't that bad, mostly because of these gigantic tracks that cover the tank. Now ButtYus is in probably the best position that you could ever have in a T95. This position on South Coast is very unique indeed. It's literally got a position that you can use where you can only get engaged from, I'd say, about even less than 90 degrees from your opponents. To be able to cap, they either have to get behind the rock, but more on that later. They literally have to attack from the front. Now ButtYus is playing in a platoon with his friend Nerd65, who are in an Object 704. So they're in two very valuable tanks for their team, there's no doubt. This is a match where there are only 4 Tier 9 tanks on either side. Da-da, da-da, dun 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 dun. That T-34-2 did not see that one coming. And ButtYus slowly slides his tank back up the slope to reassert his position on this ridgeline and put a great shot into the T-44. So as I was saying, there are 4 Tier 9 tanks on either side, and that makes ButtYus and Nerd very important for their team. Now the fact that they're defending, I can't really blame them. If I had a T-95 on this map, I would defend as well, because this is a very unique situation to have the T95. But by investing 2 out of 4 of their Tier 9 tanks solely defending the base, it does put their team at a bit of a disadvantage elsewhere on the map. But statistically, the enemies did have the superior team. At the start, we can see that a Jagdtiger is making his way along the south very aggressively indeed, along with a Panzer IVS. They're going to be assaulting the base, and we can see how far forward one of the other Tier 9 tanks have got.
Ready to fire.
But ButtYus and Nerd are protecting the base, and it's Groundhog Day as ButtYus picks up his second kill on a T-44 this time. Another Tier 8 medium tank, this time of the Soviet variety. What a snipe there. The T-95 puts in a clean shot into the Tiger. But his team are falling around him. They just lost a pattern. But ButtYus has yet to take a single point of damage, even though he's been sitting out in the open the whole time. He puts in a great shot into the Borsig and bounces Tier 8 German tank destroyer. His team, however, now, in spite of the fact that ButtYus has picked up 2 kills and done 3,000 damage, are 4 tanks behind. And finally, the main counter to the T95 finds its mark. That was an artillery shell, but let's see where it hit. Can't quite see it. Maybe I'm blind. Oh wow, yes, he has got lead magnet on the side of his tank. I've only just noticed that, and that is completely true. Honey lead magnet. Okay, that reminds me very much of another great T95 replay that we've seen. Ah, there it is. How could I miss that? I thought that was a ricochet off the other side. But indeed, that was the penetration from the artillery. And artillery is the main counter to this vehicle. It's a very big, wide, slow-moving target that is softly armored on the top. But for some reason, the enemies seem very content in just sitting out in the open and feeding ButtYus some damage. Now the pattern is assaulting his friend Nerd, and so Nerd is off on the way to deal with that Tier 9 American medium tank, while ButtYus tries to hound down the Tier 9 British medium tank, the Centurion 7-1. They are outnumbered now by 7 tanks. Well, make that 6. Oh no, 7 again, as his friend Nerd gets taken out by the M46 pattern. Now ButtYus does what he should do in this situation. And that is a very important kill right there on the M46 pattern. That M46 pattern knew what he needed to do. If he simply got there behind the rock, they would have won the game. But it looks like not all of the enemy team are as smart as that pattern. And while the Jagdtiger in the enemy base did a sterling job at surviving for so long, it looks like he was outnumbered by 4 or 5 enemy tanks, while ButtYus was defending the base. So he has picked up 4 kills and 5,400 damage. I would be thrilled in a T95 if the game was to end now. I'd probably get a high caliber medal for 5,400 damage. And ButtYus is outnumbered 8 to 1. In a Tier 9 game, that's simply ridiculous. Although that number is quickly changed to 7 to 1. Then there's the M41 Walker Bulldog, a very nasty tank to be trying to deal with in a T95. And it's played by a very good player. This Walker Bulldog has got nearly 1,700 efficiency. And he realizes that he cannot get shot by that T95, unlike the Jagdtiger. And this is what a lot of teams do, as ButtYus confirms a kill on a Tier 9 German tank destroyer, effectively an equal number for his vehicle. They think, because we've got so many people, let's just push in. But they seem to be going in one by one by one. And ButtYus is controlling the situation, preventing the Bulldog from being able to go up. The Bulldog has now left. There are multiple avenues that he could choose to go. He could go up this way, he could go up this way, that way, or even over there. But he was probably not expecting the Rheinmetall Borsig to get shot. And ButtYus has now reduced it to a 5 versus 1, as the enemies are intent on killing themselves one by one against him. As if waves were breaking over this gigantic boulder that is the T95. Now a Tier 7 British heavy tanker, Black Prince, steps up. I can save you, fair maiden. But right now, here comes the Bulldog. The Bulldog gets absolutely slammed down, but instantly repairs his tracks with his repair kit. Aims his gun in a funny way, and... oh my gosh! Rams himself to death on the T95. I do not expect he did that. That must have been a bad case of lag. What is going on? Now the 5100 decides to zerg in, thinking the T95 would be reloading. Oh gosh! ButtYus puts a clean kill into him and goes after the Black Prince. Come to daddy. But ButtYus is not tunnel visioning. He sees that there's a Jagdpanther 2 behind him, and instead of rolling down the slope go after the Black Prince, he stays on the high ground. And that is a mistake that I made myself, and it cost me a Kolobanov's medal and a Pool's medal a very long time ago. I went down the slope to kill a T-28 prototype. Fair enough, I secured the kill, but the enemy just rolled into the cap circle, and the T-95 is so damn slow, I was unable to go up here within the 1 minute and 40 seconds that it required for the enemy to cap. But he is still outnumbered 3-1. The enemy should not allow ButtYus to win this game. He just didn't have enough gun depression there to get the Jagdpanther 2. And he must be absolutely sweating it right now. He is on 9 kills, 8,300 damage. He is contending an 8-man Kolobanov's medal, and this is for his Pool's medal. The Jagdpanther realizes, oh no, he's actually going to come down the slope this time. And yes, ButtYus is. Oh god, ButtYus just manages to slow his tank and take out the Tier 8 German tank destroyer. And I don't think the enemies were expecting that. The Black Prince went all the way round. Or alternatively, he drove up and along there to be able to think that he could get round the T95. But all he has done is ended up in front of the Tier 9 American tank destroyer's gun. This 155mm tactical nuke of a weapon in this kind of a matchup. But where's the Lurve? The last time he was spotted, he was on the eastern flank. ButtYus seems to want to go back to the high ground, but the Black Prince isn't going to let him do that. As finally the Tier 8 German premium tank appears.
Target acquired.
It's very tense. He rolls super high, 844 damage done to the Lurve. And now he turns around to deal with this Black Prince, who is shooting him in the lower plate. He can't pen that lower plate. Now he shoots him in the track once, piles a great shot into the Black Prince, who is trying to find his mark. He is shooting him all over the place, panicking, but finally decides that he wants to shoot him in the tracks, taking the tracks off ButtYus, who seems to have a very good repair crew and maybe even a toolbox in this tank, which allows him to turn around and blow the head clean off the Black Prince. A very fitting end to this absolute behemoth of a game coming from ButtYus. Taking out the ammo rack on the Black Prince with the last shot in the game, securing the 12th kill and winning a 1 versus 8 engagement at Tier 9. ButtYus created an absolute graveyard around his central position, and the nearer the enemies got towards the cap circle, the more dangerous it got for them. There were so many things that could have gone wrong for the tactic that ButtYus decided to employ. One enemy behind the rock over here, and ButtYus would have been unable to catch him. One less mistake from statistically the best player on the enemy team in one of the most maneuverable tanks, and they would have won. Not catching every manner of tank, one by one by one. And ButtYus might not have had what is, at least for me, the greatest T95 game of all time. However, upon watching this replay back, I just want to show you one of the key moments that proved to be absolutely hilarious. So I've removed my webcam so you can see what is said in the chat. Let's just add some context here. ButtYus has had to do so much ass kicking that he has run out of his regular rounds and he only has APCR rounds left. Our Walker Bulldog hero arrives to take down the raid boss that is the T95. ButtYus fires a good shot into his tracks, which he instantly repairs. Drives straight towards the target, aiming his turret in a very funny way, because he's taunting ButtYus. He's saying, "Gold, lol." Loses control of his tank, probably while still typing, and crashes himself to death on the T95. How absolutely ridiculous. This Walker Bulldog was so confident that he was about to feast on the T95 that he could even troll him while he was approaching, accusing him of being a gold noob. And I expect that ButtYus couldn't care at all. he just went on to win this game. So unsurprisingly, this was a mastery badge for ButtYus. He got the steel wall, a crucial contribution for his teammate with his 12 kills. Cool-headed for bouncing at least 10 shots. The high caliber medal for his over 10,000, nearly 11,000 damage. The Pools medal for destroying between 10 and 13 tanks. And a Kolobanov's medal. He stood alone versus 8. This should be a triple A grade. He should get 3 Kolobanov's medals for this replay. ButtYus blocked 5,600 damage. He received over 31 hits this game. Made 57k profit even though he fired those premium rounds when he ran out of his standard rounds. And got over 2,076 base experience. Absolutely ridiculous. And he barely had to drive over a kilometer to do so. ButtYus, thank you so much for this replay. It was absolutely hilarious. And hopefully all of you guys enjoyed it as well as much as I did. If you did, please consider giving the video a like down below. It really helps the channel out. And if you want to see another absolutely ridiculous T95 replay, then click up here and you can see one being a Mega Scout on Malinovka. And let me know what you think about this replay in the comments below. Do you think that ButtYus did really well, or do you think he was just in the right place at the right time? Anyway guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon. And remember guys, please don't troll and drive.